Hi everyone, for this lesson we're going to continue where we left off last time, and we had talked about the 7 different vowels in the Greek language, or the Greek alphabet, and that those 7 characters actually represented 10 different sounds. We had 5 vowel types, as I called them, A, E, I, O, U, and then each of those were short or long. So for alpha we had either short or long alpha. For epsilon we had long eta and short epsilon. Sorry, for E we had long eta and short epsilon. For iota we had long iota and short iota. For O sound we had the omega, which was always long, and then the short omicron. And then upsilon we had a long upsilon and a short upsilon. And we kind of recalled that eta and omega stand out as always long, just as epsilon and omega stand out as always short. So always long over here and always short here. Alright, so this is great. We've got 7 characters. You don't want to have too many characters. There's only so many characters you can fit on a keyboard, or if you don't have a keyboard because it's 500 BCE, you still just don't want to have too many characters to work with. You don't necessarily need a different character for every different sound, and that's what we see here. We've got omega and eta. These are unique characters for the long versions, but we see alpha, iota, and upsilon are able to do double duty, creating 2 different sounds or 2 different lengths with 1 character. Well, there are more vocal and kind of vowel sounds than just these 10, A, E, I, O, U's, long and shorts. Oftentimes, vowels will be combined in different forms to create a kind of new sound that might be a transition between 2 different vowel sounds. You're moving your tongue as you say the vowel sound, and these are often represented in what I previewed a little bit as diphthongs. So these are, what is a diphthong? It's a combination of 2 vowels producing, I'm just making this up now, but it's the right definition, of 2 vowels producing 1 unique, maybe we'll say, vowel syllable. So what I'm saying here is, if we were to put alpha and iota next to each other, alpha as an A plus iota E, and we had, say, we could think of the English kind of word like I-E, you're screaming because you're rolling down a roller coaster or something. We've got this I in English, which is, even though it's a vowel, functioning like a consonant, ah, and then we kind of get this y sound here. That's not a vowel so much as a kind of consonantal y, I-E. Or even if we were to drop that and just say I-E, taking a little pause to separate that, these are 2 vowels being pronounced separately. They're not forming a diphthong. They come right after each one, right after the other, iota right after alpha. But we might as well have put something there like a ta, ati, or however we want to do it. So that's not a diphthong. That's just an example of 2 vowels together. What makes a diphthong? Well, let's say we put that alpha and that iota together again, but pronounce them together, not putting that space a-e, but through 1 continuous vocalization. Your vocal cord is going to be constantly running from an A sound down to the E sound. The E is pronounced kind of closer to your teeth and the lips of your mouth. A is a little bit further back in your mouth as you're pronouncing these things. So you move down with like, if we could draw, this is going to be a bad, there's kind of roof of the mouth. Let's get some white teeth over here. Good. Get a tongue drawn, and then I guess we'll have some more teeth over here going back. But we start off with the alpha over here, I, and then go down toward the iota. We don't make it all the way to an iota. We don't end an E sound, but we kind of get the I. and then drop the E, and we kind of have an I. And that's exactly what this diphthong is. You know, it's pronounced as we might pronounce, you know, the Y in defy or fine. This I sound. So that's a diphthong. We've got alpha functioning with iota. This isn't two syllables. This is one sound, I. But as you're pronouncing it, your tongue is moving. You are combining these two kind of building block vowel sounds, the alpha and the iota, into one that's more complicated, but still remains one vowel sound and a unitary syllable. All right. So there are, let's see, 8 diphthongs in Greek. We have the first one there, I. We also have epsilon iota, and this is pronounced kind of a, as in we might say like bait. That a, and then we have oi. And modern Greeks pronounce this very differently. This is just a kind of straight E for them. So whenever you see something, whenever they hear, you know, English people studying Ancient Greek and saying "oi," that they are taken a little bit aback. But yeah, we might say this is like boy, oi. So I, maybe like, you know, I, a, oi. Next we have an upsilon iota, and this is kind of a w sounds. So we might have, you know, like which, but don't pronounce the H, you know, don't be like which, but as we would normally pronounce which, wih, like a wick maybe of a candle might be a nice way to do it too, candle wick. All right, so we've got those 4. Next we have alpha upsilon, and that's going to be, if you know kind of like German, like house, or mouse even, this, yeah, mouse would be a good one. This ow kind of sound, A-U, alpha, upsilon. Next we have epsilon, upsilon, and this is a little bit, you know, what I was saying is these are very connected, alpha, iota, there's that glide, they become one thing. This is something close to U. Drop that Y though, so just the U. But you also, sometimes you might find that these are a little bit separated. Kind of textbook example is Odysseus. So that's Odysseus, right? The hero from Ithaca. So here we have this eos, and it's somewhat combined, but you could also say Odysseus, and somewhat separate. So I think of these first 5 diphthongs I've given you, they are very together. This eo, epsilon iota, and eta, or epsilon upsilon and eta upsilon, have a little bit more separation to them. So this would be just a longer version of, so this is Odysseus, this would be like Odysseus if we were to have that eu combination. And then finally we have omicron upsilon, and this is maybe English boo, kind of very open, you know, open. You purse your lips, make them into a circle, and say ooh. That's what's going on there. So we have now, to kind of recap overall, let me scroll down just a little bit more. We have got 7 vowel characters, and those fill in for 10, let's call them basic vowel sounds. And those are A, E, I, O, U, both long and short. But then we also have them able to combine in only these 8 combinations of diphthongs. Let's go back down just a little bit. So 8 diphthong, maybe call them units. So what we have from just these 7 characters are a total of 18 vowel sounds. 10 of them can just be accomplished by the letters themselves, whether they're long or short. But these 8 diphthongs, you know, combine different characters to create more vowel sounds. But these 18 vowel sounds will be are building blocks for the Greek language. Every word is going to have at least one of these, and each vowel sound, whether it's a basic vowel or a diphthong, creates a syllable. You'll never have two vowel sounds or two diphthongs in one syllable. They're kind of one-to-one ratio. So we've got in total 7 characters, but 18 vowel sounds. So we'll talk more about syllables and accentuation in a future lesson, but let's wrap this up now. See you next time.